All right, here is another episode of the hell is this guy doing? So, as I am packing up the 705 from the last video, I realized that I have a DIY ballon that Laura and I built back in 2022 SeaPac. It was her first time ever soldering, I believe, and she actually did a really good job soldering. But the one-to-one device, the UnUn, is a little big, and I had purchased an LDG to test to see how that was and whatnot, and so today we are going to do that. Give me 1 second to flip this around. Alright, so the LDG, and then this is the DIY thing. Got a little silicone to try to keep the moistures out, but will it stay up? There we go. So if you stand them up, the LDG is a tiny bit taller, but when you look at this way, the LDG mass is less. So I can handle a couple millimeters versus a lot of millimeters that way. So let's put it on the old trusty 269 and see what happens. Alright, so we're going dummy load, antenna, whatever ICOM calls that, coax, to the MFJ. We were trying to shoot for 52.5, is it? Which is the, yeah, the FM for 6 meter call. So we're at a 2.4. And instead of swapping back and forth to see what everything is, we'll just remember 2.4. And now we're going to go down until we find a 1.5. And so go back up here. So where are we at? 16? 16, or actually, where do we start? 1.5 at. Oh, it doesn't matter because we're in the 14s. So, I've asked a bunch of people, at what point is the SWR no longer viable to use, because it could be just possibly getting so hot because of the return. And nobody's given me an answer. The only answer I've gotten so far is take this number, 1.5, 1.4, and add that into your equation when you're building your antenna, so that way you know your antenna needs to be shorter, or if it can be the correct length. But let's see how low we can go before we hit 1.1. So, or 1.0. Where is this thing flat at? Not there. Not there. So this thing's not flat anywhere. 1-to-1. Which, it's some hokey pokey stuff going on here. They said it's only rated for 100. And I think digital, they said do like 35 with it, or 50, maybe 50. Test it, feel it if it's getting warm at 50. But it's just some random core, some wire, and yeah, so now let's test the LDG and see what those results were. So 6 was, what was it, 2.8? No, so you already forgot. So we should have bounced back and forth. We need to go to 50, 52, 2.3. Okay. What about Super Bowl? Super Bowl's right here. Nope, Super Bowl is actually right here. The next one down. 27025 is a 1.9. So there we go. There's some numbers for you. Let's pause this. Alright, I already forgot what the reading was. 2.3, I think. But let's go up to 6. So 2.8. So now we're on the LDG. So that is 0.5 higher. We were at a 2.3 on the DIY here on 6 meters. Let's see, where can we find, so let's see if we can even find a 1.0. Nope. But I would use this thing on 3.8. See, and it's golden there. And then we would probably use it on 7, which is still below 1.5. What about 14? Where do we get 1.5 at? Do you guys remember the other one? So I think it was 16 where we had 1.5. So now let's go and take this thing apart. Alright, you're going to see some blackness here for a second. I don't want the movie to time out. I've actually had that happen where it took just a second too long. Got all the screws out, but it seems to be a good suction fit, so we'll use a pick. And hey, look at this. So, why they did that, I do not know. They should have came in from here, bloop, and then went wrap, 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 got to right about here, and then crossed it over, or got to here, maybe, crossed it over to here, and then went wrap, wrap, wrap. So that way this is not going over that. I wonder if that is why the SWR is high. So, yes. I wonder if I should contact them and be like, yo, bro, why didn't you guys do it the proper way? But, yeah. Anyways, this video is already long enough, and if you stuck around for the whole entire thing, congratulations. Pat yourself on the back, because that was 8.5 or 7.5 minutes.